needs some power and support. So I was gonna, and our hearts, you know, all weekend, I just felt my heart so heavy. I didn't want it to close. I wanted it to stay open, but it's so, you know, so hard. And, you know, I've kind of retrieved out of the world mentally a bit off of Facebook. And I mean, just drawing back in a little bit because I have to sort some emotions out so my heart doesn't shut down. So today I was just hoping to kind of focus on keeping the heart open in these troubling times, but also protecting the heart and powering up the back body, powering up our backbone, so that when we are able to, even just moving through the world with your power and your strength of who you are and what you believe in and what you're standing for and what we're moving forward to, you're blessing all of creation. We're blessing everybody on the planet. We don't have to go out and yell it from the mountaintop. You know, we can, but just our small interactions with the world from a place of strength, power, and unity is enough to change the world. It might not feel like it, especially with what's going on right now, but rest assured that your inner work, what you're doing on the inside to keep your heart open and healed, is definitely manifesting through the world. And it's going to be a blessing on people whether they feel it or not. So I'm just going to take my seat. So we're going to do some strange things today. We did some last week, but just some new kind of ways of holding asana. It's going to look different, but it might feel really good to your back body. So, all right. So just first coming to a comfortable seat, we'll set our intentions and offer our blessings. So in the heart, just setting a blessing for yourself. When we take care of ourselves, we can move through the world with much more ease and faith. So anything that you need for yourself today, you can make a little request for that type of energy, or whatever it is, a material thing, a spiritual thing, an emotional comfort, whatever you need. Set that intention in your heart to receive it. In the center of the palms is where we make the offering of blessing for somebody else, and it can be a very specific somebody else. It can be an institution. We can even fit the planet in the center of our palms and offer a blessing from our own heart to all beings everywhere. We have had a community offering of blessing that each practice we share in goes out, landing on the planet as a blessing just for whatever people need, whatever they're calling out for, that our hearts can answer some of those requests. We'll open with one Om, full breath in. So keeping your seat, stretch your arms forward, pressing out through the base of the palm. And just turning your arms out, like press your thumbs away from the center, bringing the pinky in, and then push out through the side, the pinky side of the hand. Trying to even bend your fingers back. Take the arms up overhead without shifting anything in the arm. So you can feel, and then bring them down all the way to the sides of the body, still pushing out through the pinky side of the hand. Let's go up. On an inhale, bringing it up. On an exhale, bringing it down. You can feel as we keep the same hand rotation, as the arms go up overhead, it affects the back of the body differently. So we're going to be doing things like that today. All right, come on up to standing at the top of the mat. We'll just kind of warm up the body a bit. Taking your feet hips distance. Inhale the arms up, bend the knees. Exhale, come down to forward fold. Inhale, roll it up. Taking the arms up, exhaling to fold. Keeping the knees bent. Inhale, body wave it up. The arms can even go back and up. Exhaling down. And just one more body wave. Coming down, tapping into forward fold. And inhaling, body waving up. And coming in chair pose. Bring the hands straight out front. Spin the hands. Thumbs go up and around, away from the midline. Pinkies come in. Push out through the pinky sides of the hands. Now, take your feet just a little bit wider. Lift the outside arches of your feet and turn your toes out of it. So your big toe mound is down. Lift the pelvic floor, tone the low belly, and drop your chin to your chest. Release the sides of the feet. Inhale, rise up. Bring the feet all the way together. Stretching the arms up, just centering the hands. Curl back just a bit. Inhaling up, center, exhaling to fold. Inhaling halfway up. Exhaling to fold. Bend the knees and just step your feet halfway back towards downward dog. Press the palms flat into the floor. Spin the right hand a couple inches to the right, left hand a couple inches to the left. Take your feet max distance apart. Big toe mound down, toes turn in, heels out. Lift the pinky side of your foot. Bend your knees. Press your hands down from the pinky side of your hand and forward. Tuck your chin to your chest. Send the back of your body up towards the ceiling as you press your arms down and forward. Press down through the pinky toe mound. Really try to lift the outside line of your foot up a bit more. Lift the pelvic floor so you really feel a focal point. Rooting, tone the low belly. You might feel some energy in the inside line of the knees. If it's pain, back the pinky side of the foot down a bit. You might just feel like there's an energy there. Breathing into the back of the pelvis, really giving space for the sacral bone and the hip bones. Starting to unwind the spine from the bottom. The chin is tucking to the chest, so there's a length in the back of the neck. Keeping the legs and arms powered up as they are, start to bring your chin forward. Bring the chin all the way up. Keep pressing the pinky side of your hands down and forward. And relax into it. Come into just a high push-up pose, bringing the hands to face forward again, fingers face forward like a traditional plank pose. Dropping the knees to the floor for tabletop. Tuck your toes, press halfway back towards child's pose. Press the palms down and forward, the butt back. Lift the pelvic floor, tone the low belly, lift the head. Just start to tuck your chin towards your chest. On the inhale, we're just working the head. Inhaling, lifting the chin. Exhale, bringing it to the chest. And just moving with your breath. Keep the hands pushing down and forward, the toes pressing back, the pelvic floor is lifting, the low belly's toned. Very active here. You want to feel the transverse abdominis in the lower abs, really working. The next time the chin is up forward, relax the head, point the toes, make a one potato, two potato pillow, rest the butt into child's pose. Rest the head onto that one potato, two potato pillow. Just breathing into it. On your next inhale, come on up, tabletop, step the right foot forward. Take your left knee back just a bit and just undulate back and forth like we do in that runner stretch. Straightening the front leg, lifting the side of the foot, then inhale, coming back, and just going back and forth. If you like, you can add lifting the arms up. The next time you're in a runner stretch, hold steady, just taking a nice hamstring stretch for the right leg. On the next inhale, lunge back forward. Bring your right hand inside the right leg. Spin the arm. So we're rotating the arm outward. The thumb goes out. The palm goes to the floor inside that right foot. The left arm goes up for a twist, or just take your left hand to your left hip. Keep pushing your left hip square to the floor. Traction the right foot and the left knee isometrically together. Push through the pinky side of your right hand. It might feel kind of funky. If there's pain, back, just push down through the finger, the pinky side of the pinky tip. But we really want to be pushing from the base of the palm at the pinky side of the hand. Full breath in. On the exhale, bring the left hand down. Spin your right hand back around. Spin your left hand around, rooting it down into the floor. Bring your left knee under your left hip and shoot the right leg straight back. The ball of the foot's on the floor. Hips are square. Reach the right arm forward. Bicep by the ear. Really stretch your right heel back, right arm forward. Pushing down to the pinky side of the left hand. I know there's a lot going on, but it takes a lot to really get the backbone conditioned. It has all of these past experiences weighing on it. We can't just rip them out. We have to kind of condition them out. Bring it on down, tabletop. Step the left foot forward. Lunging forward and back for the runner stretch. Inhaling it forward, low lunge. Exhaling back to same sequence we're going to do on the opposite side. Maybe the arms will come up and bringing it down and back. A lot of things in the body have to be aligned and conditioned in order not to bring imbalance to the spine. You see, the spine of mankind has a lot of imbalances and better than, less than energies pulling. The next time you're in the runner stretch, go ahead and just hold a bit, breathing into it. We can't fix the imbalances in other people's mindsets, but we can adjust ours. And in adjusting ours, we can have an effect on others. Come on back forward into low lunge, picking it up overhead, just holding steady a bit. On the exhale, bring the left hand down. We're going to spin the arm out. The thumb goes to the inside of the leg. The right arm can be up for a twist or right hand on the hip. Square the front of the pelvis to the floor. Press down for the pinky side of your left hand. And you might just reach that right arm forward, keeping the heart square to the floor, or with the pelvis square to the floor, a little tiny rotation of the shoulder girdle on the right side. Maybe the right arm is up perpendicular. Full breath in. On the exhale, bring the right hand down. Spinning the left hand back around. Bring the right knee under the right hip. The right hand now is going to spin, and the left leg will go back. The ball of the foot's on the floor. It might have to go a little bit more to the left to balance, taking that left arm forward, pushing down for the pinky side of the right foot. And always modifying out. If any of these new things create pain in the body, come to the traditional pose, or modifying yourself so you don't feel any pain whatsoever. And bring it on down. Spin the right hand around. Come down onto the forearms, interlace the hands, tuck the toes, take the bum up for a dolphin pose, pedaling the feet. When we're conditioning and realigning and re-educating the body, pain is an indication that we're moving towards injury.
tightness and restriction means that we're moving towards opening. Same thing now, we have all of this imbalance being addressed, and some of the actions being taken are helpful and some are causing injury. Come on down, child's pose. Sweep the arms back behind you. See how it feels to let the back of the hands rest on the floor, the shoulders roll forward, and the forehead to the floor. And then move your arms if you need to adjust them for comfort. Just in this little kind of restorative pose, think about each vertebra, how they stack one on top of the other so perfectly, giving your torso this amazing agility and the muscular system around it, giving us the ability to rotate a little bit, turning around and look back behind us, see what's going on back there so we can release it and learn from it. On the inhale, come on up, tabletop. Take your right leg, your right knee out to the side for fire hydrant. You can kick your left toes to the left a bit and lean a bit left for support. And just start to circle the knee. Just making little circles, starting to rotate that femur head in the socket. It starts, that type of movement is going to create some synovial fluid, some ability to allow the femur head to roll in the socket more smoothly. Take it in the other direction. If there's a hip replacement or any type of hip impingements, the knee can merely face the floor, just making circles, being sure to go a little bit both directions. Keep the leg up in the air, kick it straight back behind you, power it up, lift the pelvic floor, tone the low belly. Spin the right hand just a little bit, not all the way around like we did before, but just like we did in downward dog. Couple inches to the right, and take the left arm forward. Look at your left hand. Flex the palm and turn the thumb all the way around, pinky in, and push out through the pinky side of your hand. Push out through your right big toe mound. Like you're trying to make your right big toe mound touch the wall behind you, but the pinky side of your foot lifts up. And just stretch the pinky side of the hand and the left pinky side of the hand and the right big toe mound away from each other. Even stretch the arms and legs out of the socket just a bit. And one more big breath in. On the exhale, come on down. Turning the left hand is just going to turn about 2 inches to the left. The left leg will go back. It will come out for fire hydrant. You can lean over to that right side a bit more. Just start to circle the left hip, left knee. Feeling free to just point it at the floor and rotate it. Can be little tiny circles or big circles. Any type of movement is going to create that synovial fluid activation. And just start to take it the other direction. You can take certain measures, these little tiny actions make the bigger movements more doable. They run more smoothly when we do the little things like activating this synovial fluid. When we go to our standing poses, we're going to feel better in the hip sockets. Keeping the left leg off the floor, extend it back behind you. Pressing out through the heel and the big toe mound, lift the right arm forward, spin the thumb around, pushing out through the pinky side of your right hand and your left big toe mound, like really working to get away from each other. These tensegrities of pushing away from each other, pulling away from each other, pushing towards each other, pulling towards each other. It's all the setup of the physical universe. We need every one of those antagonistic tensegrities. When they oppose each other, they create synergy in the body. There are mindsets that need to oppose other mindsets, just so we can have stability and structure. But not better than less than. And release it all the way down. Take a nice wide knee child's pose. An opposing energy that is beneficial is aerodynamics. It opposes the law of gravity so that we can have flight, so that birds can fly, planes can fly. All kinds of these opposing energies that create movement and stability and structure are needed. On your inhale, come all the way up to downward dog. Just really powering it up for yourself. Pressing the palms, the knuckle mounds, and the base of the palm down and forward. The bum goes up. The thighs are toned and strong. The low belly pulls in. The heels push down. As the butt goes up and the heels push down, that's the opposing tensegrity that helps stretch the hamstrings across the back of the knees, the calf muscles across the back of the knees, the Achilles tendon freeing up the pedaling of the foot. Sometimes we have to create these situations that really accentuate the antagonistic energies. Lift the right leg up, step it on forward to the top of the mat. We hear often in yoga, root down to rise up. If the trees didn't root down, they wouldn't be able to rise up. They would topple over. Bring the arms up overhead. Curl back. Power up the thighs, especially that back leg. Full breath in. When we exhale, bring the hands down to frame the front foot. Step it back, downward dog. Lift the left leg up. Step it on forward to the top of the mat. Power up the legs, lift the pelvic floor, tone the low belly. On the inhale, rise up. Powered, push down through the front heel. As that front heel roots down, you can send an energy up through the knee, giving you the ability to really square the hips. Powering up the right leg. Full breath in. On the exhale, fold forward over the front leg. Step the back foot forward, coming into forward fold. Feel free to keep the legs nice and straight here. Just noticing the energy in the pelvis where the femur head hits it lays in the socket. How's it feeling after we did just that little bit of conditioning? Just check in with ourselves to notice our progress. On the inhale, sweep it straight up, tall mountain. Reach up, give a gentle curl back. Just holding a nice heart opening extension. Standing in the power of your own body. Kind of leaning backwards just a bit, tapping into the past just a bit, and then inhale up straight. Exhale, hands to the heart, closing the eyes. There's a certain hindsight that we need that can kind of give us some foresight, so that we step forward in a way that really promotes our heart's desires, promotes our love and kindness and relationship to brothers and sisters. Turn and face the length of your mat in a wide straddle-like position. Turn the toes out just a bit. Lift the pinky sides of your feet to see how that feels. Bend the knees a bit. Bring the hands down in front of the line of the toes. Spin the hands out. You can even spin the hands all the way around if it feels good. Just take it to where it feels kind of comfortable. Tuck your chin to your chest. Push the pinky side of your feet down. The pinky side of your hands down. Push the big toe mound down. Lift up through the pinky side of the foot and then tuck your chin to your chest. Keep the pelvic floor lifting, the low belly tone. Press the pinky sides of your hands down and gently away from each other. Draw the big toe mounds kind of like in towards each other as you push them down, and lift the try to get your pinky toenail up even higher. Chin to the chest. Pelvic floor lifts, low belly tones. The pinky side of the hands are pushing down and away from each other. You should feel a nice energy in the back of the shoulder blades. They kind of hang on the back of the body. The rhomboids and the rhomboids are attached right to your upper spine, below the neck, the thoracic spine. All right, relax the feet. Keep the hands as they are. Power up your thighs. Lift the heart, chest, and chin forward, pushing the pinky sides of your hands down gently and away from each other as you lift the chin. Really keep lifting your chin. You'll feel an energy in that thoracic spine. Pull the belly in. It looks kind of funky. And relax. Turn the hands back forward. Turn your toes to face the front plane of your body. Bring the hands to the hips. On the inhale, sweep the torso up. And just notice how you're feeling in the shoulder girdle. Turn the right foot 45 degrees, bending into the knee for warrior two. Just holding steady. And just holding a warrior two. Just breathing into it. I'm gonna, something funky going on with the camera here. Just gazing over that right middle finger. Power up the back leg. Bring the hands to the hips. Pivot the right foot in and the left foot out, bending into the left knee. Inhaling the arms up, warrior two, gazing over that left middle finger. Powering up the legs, just being in the warrior energy, a fierce warrior for peace. Feel that left heel root down. It helps lift the pelvic floor up when you root the left heel down. When you pull the low belly in, it helps lift the top of the heart. And that energy goes out. As we pull energy into the low belly, we can send it up and out through the heart. Bring the hands to the hips. Turn the left foot in. Heel toe the feet in just a bit more. So they're about 1.5 to 2 feet away. Turn the right foot again to face that right short length of your mat. Square the pelvis and the hips. Take the hands behind the back. Maybe you're going to grab opposite elbows, opposite wrists. Some folks can do that reverse prayer pose behind the back. For me, I'm just going to kind of grab up high on the forearm. Power up the legs. Square the hips. Lift the pelvic floor. Tone the low belly. Look up and fold, maybe going down just a bit. Each inhale, lengthen the crown of your head away from the pelvis as you bring that left hip forward. Exhale, fold just a bit deeper. Each inhale, lengthening the spine. Each exhale, deepening the fold, keeping a nice straight, long back body. Inhaling to lengthen, exhaling to fold. On the inhale, rise up. Take the arms up overhead. Turn the palms to face the ceiling and spin the arms. Thumb is going to go away from the midline. Pinky comes in. Push out through the pinky side of the foot and take a half forward fold over the legs as they are. The arms look like a Y, pushing out to opposite sides of the corner of the rooms. Really pushing out through the pinky sides. Power up. The left thigh is strong. The right heel pushes down and forward, but the hips are squaring. Pelvic floor is lifting. Low belly's tone. On the inhale, rise up. Step forward to the top of the mat. Notice the energy coursing through that right side of the body. Noticing the differences between the energy coursing through the left side of the body. Just giving the mindset this discerning energy. The discernment is just to notice the shifts and the changes in the landscape, or the shifts and the changes in the terrain, so that we can make adjustments for our movements forward. And turning and facing that length of your mat. Once again, just like 1.5 to 2 feet away, the left foot will turn open. Square the hips and the heart over that left leg. Hands go behind the back. grabbing opposite wrists or arms, or maybe taking that reverse prayer, Anjali Mudra behind the back. And then wherever your arms are, really power up the legs. Lift through the pelvic floor, tone the low belly. Inhale, lengthening the top of the head towards the ceiling. Exhale, bow in. And let it be a bit of a journey. Inhale, pressing through the crown of the head as you root the legs. Exhale, folding just a bit more. Really allowing the legs to kind of support the torso. Inhaling to lengthen. Exhaling to fold. Keep that right hip coming forward, left hip going back. Push down through your left heel and forward as you really push the right foot down into the floor and turn that hip forward. It just helps keep some balance. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, hinging. Keeping a nice, strong, straight back body. On the next inhale, rise up. The hands will go up overhead. Flex the palms, spin the arms out. And you can actually bring them right out in front too. Press out through the pinky sides of the hands, square the hips, lift the pelvic floor, tone the low belly. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, hinge forward, reaching the arms like a Y. Crown of the head stays in line with the spine. Inhale, lengthening the spine, exhaling to fold. Really push out through the pinky sides of the hands. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, hinge. Square the hips, power up the right thigh. On the next inhale, rise up. Hands come to the heart, step to the top of the mat. Samasthiti, just breathing in with the energy, noticing it through the legs. Notice how the energy in the front of the body feels a little bit different than the energy in the back of the body. The shoulder sockets, the hip sockets, the energy behind the eyes. On the inhale, reach the arms up overhead. On the exhale, fold forward. Inhaling halfway up. Exhaling to fold. Bend the knees, step on back to downward dog. Pedaling out the feet. Come on down to the knees. Turn and face the length of that mat, again in tabletop. Take your right leg out for fire hydrant. Take the left arm out to a T, holding steady, breathing into it. Flex the left palm and invert your right foot. So pushing out through the right big toe mound, drawing energy from the pinky side of the foot, pushing out. You can turn that right arm rotated outward, push out through the pinky side of your hand. Take a cat round, tucking your chin to the chest, rounding through the back. Pushing out through the left pinky side of the hand, everting the right foot, lifting the pelvic floor, toning the low belly, tucking the chin to the chest. See what gives first, the foot, the hand. All right, relax it down. Take the right leg straight back, the foot's on the floor. Cross it over the left side for our lowest climber pose, looking over that left shoulder. Powering up the right leg. Just breathing into it. On the inhale, bring it back, center, tabletop. Taking your left leg out for fire hydrant. Taking the right arm out to a T. Flex the right palm, spin the thumb around, push out through the pinky side of the right hand. Like you're reaching that right arm out through the pinky side. Evert the left foot, pushing out through the big toe mound. Trying to draw the pinky side of the foot to the front plane of your body. Really pushing out through the pinky side of the hand, the pinky side of the foot. Now cat round, tuck the chin to the chest. Scan the hand and the foot. Still pushing energy out. And release it on down. Make your way to laying on your, oh, sorry, stay right there. Take the left leg back. Over the right side, looking over the right shoulder. Just breathing into it. Power up the left leg. On the inhale, bring the left knee back for tabletop turn so that your body can lay on the length of your mat, coming all the way down. Make a pillow, one hand on top of the other. Give your pelvis a gentle little Etch-a-Sketch shake. And then rest completely into the body. Just giving yourself a moment here to kind of drop, like imagine that you're just merging in with the earth. Just merging into the Big Mama. Letting all of the mental energies of what's going on in the world today stay on the surface as you let the energies of your inner mind go deep into the earth. Just allowing yourself to have a hug from the Mother Earth, feeling safe and secure. And just imagine that she's wrapped around you so that as we go back up to the surface of the mental energies of the world, there's a buffer. Line the hands up along the sides of the heart. Lift up through the head. Press the legs down. On your inhale, look up over the left shoulder. Exhaling down center. Inhaling, look up over the right shoulder. Exhale center. And going back and forth as if you're just taking a little bit of a hindsight peek into what has come behind us. Inhaling up to the right. Not for judgments or any type of regrets, just to see how far we've come. And honoring all the steps forward we've taken. Maybe we still need to move forward. Things still need to change. But just honoring the part of you that has stepped forward into those changes that need to be made. Come on up into Sphinx pose. The arms can go straight forward. Let the bottom of the rib cage sink into the floor. Maybe even slide your thumb and pointer finger together so you make that little triangle sign. And then press the pinky side of your hand down and traction it towards yourself. Pull the belly button towards the back of the body so the bottom of your rib cage lifts up. Tuck the chin to the chest, press the legs down. Keep tractioning the pinky side of your hand towards your body. Push it down and towards your body. The low belly and the navel are drawing in and up. The rib cage is off the floor, the chin is to the chest, the legs push down. Breathe into it. Feel the front body really working for you. And come all the way down with the rib cage and lift the heart for Sphinx pose. Just a nice soft Sphinx pose. You can give the pelvis just a little Etch-a-Sketch shake. Take your left arm out to the side. Give it a good stretch out of the socket. Bring the right hand in close. And then side bend your body a little bit to the left. Let that left hand go a little bit further over. Use your right hand just to look up over the right side. The left leg stays down. We're still in the front of the body, but the right leg is going to kind of start to peel up off the floor. Not going all the way over. Just letting that left arm give a nice stretch to the front of the heart. And coming back center. The left hand comes in close. Reach the right arm way over. Even shift the shoulder girdle a bit more right so that right arm can get a bit more of a stretch. And then just peeling the left side up a bit. Just the left hip comes up. The left top of the foot's down. Stretch that right arm a bit more. Use the left arm to kind of push yourself over to that right side. Just feeling a stretch through the right bicep into the shoulder girdle, into the pec muscles, and bring it on back center. Make a little pillow, rest the head. Hike your right leg out for half frog. Take a nice big side bend of your body towards the right leg, not twisting it, just side bending it. Kick the left heel to the butt and reach back with your right hand for the foot. Or you can just keep a pillow for your forehead, kicking your left heel to your bum. There's a thigh stretch right there. But maybe the right hand goes back and can kind of intensify the thigh stretch a bit. Just let yourself kind of relax into it. It's giving some tension release on the right side of the spine, the muscles that support it and attach to it. Release the left leg. Keep the right leg where it is. Bring the body back center and prop up into a Sphinx pose. Just breathing into it. If there's a lot of pressure at the sacral, the junction with the last vertebra, L5, bring the forearms a bit more forward, let the rib cage rest in a bit. Take the right leg back. Bring the left leg on out for half frog. Side bend the body, a big side bend towards the left leg. The right forearm makes a bit of a pillow or the fist. And then kick the right heel to the butt, taking the left hand back to see how it feels. And just relaxing into it. Some tensegrities in our physical world, mentally, emotionally, and physically, spiritually even, need an active pull away from something or an active push towards something. Some things naturally need to push into something that's pulling away from it and vice versa. Others can rest into one another and create a peaceful support. Like when you're making a card house and you just rest two cards in the begin, they rest into each other. It doesn't require any energy on either, just a nice equal leaning force. That's what sometimes we can be for one another. Sometimes we're required to give a big push or to give a great pull. Release the back leg. Keep the left leg where it is. Swing the body around, coming up into Sphinx pose. When we do the inside work, our inside work manifests out into the world. Our pushes and our pulls and our leans become intuitive. We trust ourselves. We trust the process of life. Kick the left leg on back. Make a little pillow. Give it a little shake. Line the hands up along the sides of the heart. Press yourself up and back to a kneeling seated position. Take your hands back behind you. The fingertips face forward. See how that feels. And if it's not feeling so good in the shoulders, you can spin the hands as much as you need to. The fingers can even face back behind you if that feels better. The arms can stretch out to the sides of the mat. Lift the pelvic floor, tone the low belly. Think cat rounds. Tuck the like tuck your bum under so you're really tucking it, laying it on your heels. And then think cobra action, let the head go back. Lift the pelvis up off the heels. Press through the pinky sides of your hands and bringing it on down. Walk the hands forward, coming towards a child's pose, resting into it. Keep the knees and ankles together. Give them make it an active child's pose. The knees and ankles gently squeeze in, the toenails clip down, the pelvic floor lifts, the low belly tones, the arms stretch forward with some effort. Then bring your chin towards your chest, forehead to the floor. Keep clipping the toenails down, squeezing the lower legs together, lifting the pelvic floor, toning the low belly, pushing your butt back, reaching your arms forward, feeling all these nice tensegrities pulling away from the spine are giving the spine space and blood flow and lymph flow through it. On your inhale, come on up, tabletop. You can spin the hands out just a bit here. Take the right leg back. Kick the heel to the butt. Take the left hand back so you can grab that foot and kick up for half bow. Or keep both hands down. Just push that right heel up to the sky as you lift up to the heart, chest, and chin. Feeling free to have both hands to support the heart on the floor, or left hand's holding on to that right ankle or foot. Kick them into each other so you feel a tension. The hand pulling the foot or the ankle, the leg pushing away from the hand. Feeling how it creates a nice ripple of structural balance through the torso. And release it on down. We'll go right on over to the other side. Set the right knee down, take the left leg back, kick the heel to the butt. Maybe you'll just kick that heel up to the ceiling as you push your hands down, lift the heart, chest, and chin. Or maybe that right hand will go back, grabbing the foot, kicking it up. The arm is pulling the foot forward and up. The leg is pushing the foot back and down. When they meet equally, it helps open up the front of the body, really strengthening the back of the body, shortening those and strengthening those paraspinals that often get overstretched, tight, and weak, just from being in a rounded back body through the day. Here, we're just giving it an opportunity to power up and release it all the way down. Take a downward dog. Pedaling the feet. Come on back down to the knees. Walk the hands once again back behind you. And see how it feels if you spin your hands out and lean back with the arms. Clip the toenails down. This time, lift your knees up. Nice stretch for the top of the foot. If it's painful, you might want to go kind of bring the hands forward and lift the knees. It takes a lot of pressure off the ankles. The hands going back are going to add a weight to that stretch at the top of the feet. So if it's painful, we back out. If it's uncomfortable, maybe breathe into it a bit. And relax the knees down. Come on up to a thunderbolt position with your toes tucked under, knees, hips distance apart, arms stretching up. Traction your ankles and your knees isometrically together as if you were squeezing a block right above your ankle bone in towards the midline, lifting the pelvic floor, tone the low belly, sweep the arms back so the hands lay on the back of the pelvis. Press your thigh bones and your pelvic bones forward, but think about pushing your inner thigh line back. As the bones go forward, the femur head rolls in, and the line of the inner thighs goes back, even though the bones are going forward. Lift the heart up. Look up. Maybe take the head back a bit. Keep squeezing into that invisible block between the shins. And come on, all the way down. Sitting on the heels, bring the knees and the feet together. Bring your hands around, grabbing, find your heels. Round your back, tuck the chin to the chest and fold forward so you grab the heels. Or just push into the side of the ankle bones. Round your back a lot, like a cat round. Bring the shoulders forward. Tuck your chin to your chest. That's as far as you have to go right there. But clip the toenails down, squeeze the knees together, lift the pelvic floor, push the butt down into the heels as you press your back body up into a cat round, chin to the chest. If you want to go a little further, bring the forehead to touch the front of your knees and lift your butt. Keep squeezing the heels. If you've got your butt up, really grab your heels. Even though you're lifting your butt up, you're kind of pushing it down. The forehead is just skimming the knees. The top of the head is just skimming the floor. I have to talk, so if I put my chin all the way in my chest, I can't talk. But you want your chin all the way tucked in, really constricting the front of the cervical vertebra, the front of the neck. Those vertebrae there are getting like a nice compression as the back is getting this nice opening. And release it on down. Come on back up, just a thunderbolt. Set the knees and ankles, hips distance, tuck your toes. Do a little cross your heart with the arms. One hand to a shoulder, then the other to the other shoulder. Keep the body straight, so not back bending it. Actually think cat round, cobra action, and then just lean back and bring it forward. Leaning back and bring it forward. Just going back and forward. Just really using the torso muscles and with the legs, the power of the legs to hold the torso as it leans back and then to draw it forward. And bring it back, center. Set the tush on the heels, roll over the pelvis over to one side, bring your legs straight out in front. Take your feet about max distance apart, turn the feet out and evert the feet. So you're gonna lift, push out through the inside line of your foot, lift the pinky side, walk your heels a bit closer to your pelvis, max distance apart. Reach the arms forward, spin the thumbs away from the midline, press out through the pinky side of your hand, take the arms wide, tuck your chin to the chest and round into the back. As you push out through the pinky side of your hands, the pinky side of your feet, tucking the chin, rounding into the back. Keeping everything as it is, just start to lift your chin forward. Keeping your hands rotated the way they are. Bring the pinkies to tap together in front of you. Pushing out through the pinky side of the hand. Just feeling the different dynamics. Now tuck the chin a bit. Not too much. And relax it on down. Come to laying all the way on your back. Set your feet max distance apart, bending the knees so they point to the ceiling. And then let your knees rest into each other. Find the placement of your feet where you don't have to stretch to get your knees to touch, where they're just leaning into each other. Turn the heels and toes out. Press the arms down the sides of the body and just adjust your shoulder blades. Give the pelvis a little lift and roll it down so the bony landmarks on the back of your body get comfortable. Close the eyes, bring your hands to the belly or just out to the side, wherever it feels more comfortable, so you can soften the inner thigh energy and the groin, the pelvic floor, and the low belly. Each inhale, just feel how the belly lifts up, and as you exhale, it just drops down. Feel the support of the knees holding one another up. This is how it should take no effort. Just whatever force it is creating the lean is enough. They meet on this equal ground of support. Let your right knee just fall out to the right. Just see it's happening with the left foot when the right knee removes its support. Not a bad thing, right? There's just this nice opening for the left side of the hip. Sometimes we have to take ourselves out of the situation so that the other side can get a little bit of a stretch, a little bit of an opening. On the inhale, bring it on back up. Let them lean into one another. This feeling of support. Let the left leg go out to the side and see what happens to the right leg. And just check out, is it a different energy? Is there a different opening or restriction with that right leg coming into the midline? Letting the right leg hang here without the support of the left knee can start to give a myofascial stretch to the knee, to the hip, to the spine. If there's pain, you can bring a block or something to support that right knee. Or just walk your right foot over to the left side a bit. If there's pain at the knee. If there's pain at the hip, you can lift the knee up a bit. Bring it back center. Let the knees rest in and just be supportive of one another. See if there's any adjustment to the back of the body, maybe lifting the pelvis again. There's always these little tiny adjustments when we come back to support one another. Sometimes we have to shift and change the way we're doing it to have the same effect as the time before. Bring the soles of the feet together, let the knees fall out to the side. Press the feet together, lift the pelvis up. Create a little bit of opposing energy on the pinky side of the feet. This pushing, this force, pushing into each other, not leaning, pushing, active. Opening up the inner thighs a bit more. Well, pulling the iliacus muscle gently away from the spine, creating a nice conditioning, a nice opening and flexibility. But a lot of activity with the foot, a lot of holding. Bring it on down. Bring the knees into the chest, hands to the knees. Supporting the knees with the hands, just feel how when you just relax the legs, the heart and the arms can hold the knees in place. With just a tiny bit of energy, no huge effort. Start to make some circles with the knees, just massaging the back of the pelvis. All throughout life, we often have to really show up with a shovel in both hands, really ready to work. Sometimes we can show up, the shovel can be on the ground, it might not be needed. Just observing is the work. Supporting might be the work. Take the circle the other way. Sometimes getting knee deep in the trenches is required. Sometimes all bodies in. Sometimes it's better just to be a support, the cheering, the encouraging words. Bring it on center. Set the feet on the floor. Bring the arms along the sides of the body. Press down to the back of the arms. Draw the shoulder blades together. On the inhale, lift the pelvis up. Sometimes we're the bridge. Holding steady. Sometimes we can be that crossover for somebody. Our words, our actions, a smile, our quietness, our willingness. Sometimes that will help somebody bridge the gap from their emotional body to their mental body, through their heart to their spiritual mind, to peace. Walk the shoulders under a bit more, maybe even grab the ankles or interlace the hands. It's holding steady in where the bridge pose works for you. The best part about when we do the inner work on ourselves regarding love, compassion, forgiveness, understanding, tenderness, mercy, is that our intuition leads the way. We don't always have to know when we're helping somebody. We don't always have to know when we're the bridge between their emotional pain and their comfort. It's just that we've been doing the work. So being around us could actually be a comfort to somebody, and we don't even have to ever know it. Come on down. Extend the legs out, walk the shoulders out, reach the arms up overhead, just laying in a nice long body stretch. On your inhale, bring the right knee into the chest, grab hold with your hands, pull the knee towards the right shoulder, just nice and gentle. Keeping hold of the knee with your left hand, stretch the right arm out for a cactus or a T and use the left hand to draw the right leg over to the left, just giving it some nice support. If twisting is not good for you, you can simply just cross your right leg over your left leg, let the arms go out to a T. If you're in the twist, you can soften through the left knee. See how your body's feeling. See what your body needs for the twist. Feel free to come into any final twist that works for you. On the next inhale, make your way back through center. Extend the legs out straight. Reach the arms up towards the ceiling, maybe even back behind you. On the next inhale, bring the left knee and grab hold of it with the hands and just give it a gentle pull towards the left shoulder. Keeping the right hand holding the knee, take the left arm out to a cactus or a T and draw the left leg over to the right. Letting the right hand be the support of gently helping it over there for the twist. And then modifying however you need to. We're coming into a completely different twist that your body might need. You can let that right hand kind of be help, like just laying it there, the heaviness of the hand can help create a little bit of an IT band stretch all up through the back of the pelvis. Very beneficial for the spine. Or maybe it's better to leave the right hand out of it and just let the leg hang into gravity. On the next inhale, come on back center. Knees to the chest, hands to the knees. And then just breathe through the body. See if there's any micro movements that kind of come about organically. Or maybe there's just ways that you know feel good. Just gently giving yourself the opportunity to get your back body comfortable for Shavasana. Just laying it on out. Maybe the legs will go over a couch or up, legs up the wall. Something to kind of just pamper yourself here. And as you rest, feel yourself kind of rest into the back of the body. Let it hold you. Let the earth hold the back body. And then let the earth be the back body. As if each inhale you feel the whole body fill up. And exhale down. Just kind of merging with the big mama. Letting her open and receive you like a mother holds a baby. Let yourself be nurtured and held. And right around the forehead, that outer thinking mind, let it stay there. And each exhale, imagine it kind of stays at the surface, but you go deeper into this embrace. Just giving yourself a break from the mental mind you use to move through the world. Just leave it up on the surface. Each exhale going deeper into the heart of the mama.
Just going even deeper. Allowing yourself this retreat into the embrace of the divine is a blessing for all mankind. Just allowing yourself to go even deeper. And as you're in this embrace, imagine just looking up to the surface and just seeing that container of the mental mind that we need to navigate through the world, but looking at it as something separate than you. A little mind construct, like scaffolding around a building. It's needed while there are restorations made. But it certainly isn't the building. Looking up at that scaffolding of mental constructs. If scaffoldings aren't set just right, the restoration cannot happen. As you're in this deep embrace of this divine energy, let it fill all of the mind energy that you have with you in this deep place. Let that scaffolding of mental energy, no matter how nice it is, just let it tear down. Let yourself be in this deep divine energy. Keeping the awareness of this inner sanctum of your being, this space that is always available. Use the inhale just as if you're kind of floating back up to the surface. Bringing all of this energy of deep inner peace, compassion, divine love and grace coming up with you to the surface. Allowing these to be the building of the scaffolding that will contribute to the restoration of the human heart, human mind, restoring us bit by bit back to this brotherhood and sisterhood. Start to wiggle your fingers and toes. On an inhale, reaching your arms up towards the ceiling, maybe even giving it a nice stretch back behind you. Giving yourself a little morning stretch, a long body stretch. Breathing a power into the back of the body, lined with the lessons of the past, the power that your past experiences have to move you forward. Inhale the knees to the chest. Gently roll over to one side. Just resting once again in this fetal position. Feeling that energy of the embrace of the mother still with you. But now up in the surface of that, the mental energy we use to move through the world. Let it be housed in the embrace of the divine. Using whatever hand is on top, gently press yourself up to a comfortable seated position facing the front of your mat. Bringing the hands together in front of the heart, connecting with your intention, your offering of blessing, our community offering of blessing. If throughout the day that mental scaffolding kind of starts to speak to you and scare you and make you go into reaction, set it aside from yourself. Let yourself go back deep into that inner sanctum. Let that be the structural power that you live in. Inhale, filling the heart. Exhale, gently fold forward, sealing in your practice. Inhaling to rise. The hands rest on the knees, palms up. The index finger curls into the thumb. We'll take a nice release breath. And one Om, full breath in. Namaste.